And today we got legendary Radio B with us.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me.
The one and only.
Right. Real quick, Nick, what episode number is this?
62.
62 of them things we've been doing. So.
62.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah. Appreciate it. Man.
Now, if I'm clear, we met Radio B when we went with
Yeah, our boy Wes.
we had.
Oh man, my man,
Yeah.
Scientist West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took like a little bit, like not that.
So who got the quote of the day for us?
You got us out?
Oh, y'all came by the crib. Y'all was helping West with the Rod West.
Yeah,
Word. Good to see y'all.
Yeah.
So, all right, quote of the day. All right, I got you. Out of the booklet. Thanks to my mom. Yeah. Okay, I have simply tried never to forget the soil from which I sprang. Okay, that's really
Solid.
What does that mean to you?
Yeah, radio. We don't let niggas just slide here on the quote of the day. So as we usually say, Al, what does that mean to you? Right.
What does that mean to you?
No, it's never forgetting where you came from. You know what I mean? So
good job for bailing him out. But yeah, all right. Yeah, I guess Al's got lucky on this one. Right. Yeah. All right. That's cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate it though. But now go ahead.
Yeah. Finding your roots. Yeah. You know,
Absolutely.
like, never forgetting where you come from. Most definitely. Yeah.
All right, so like I said, we have Radio B here for us today. You know, RVA rap elite. You know, one of the guys who usually keeps his ear to the street. So I should say, how's your 2021 starting off so far?
It's been pretty good. I mean, it's blessed. You know, it's like this as 2020 was. It's very unpredictable. It's challenging. But definitely a blessing.
Okay, all right. Now, your latest project, which was, what is it? All Art Isn't
All Art Ain't Pretty.
Yeah. How did that come into play?
I actually started that album in like December of 2019, maybe November, December of 2019. And got a good ways into it. And, as 2020 came, there was just obviously a lot of things that kind of hindered the process of recording and just continue, because I was working on like 3 different projects coming into 2020. But as things started to develop in, as far as COVID was concerned, as far as just the protests and George Floyd and everything that happened with that situation, it kind of sparked in me a need to finish the project. So I went ahead and probably was like maybe like 4 or 5 more records that I needed to write and record to really kind of trap lightning in a bottle as far as what was going on at that particular time, and just to release something that was very present in the moment. And I think we were able to accomplish that.
I would say, like, how did you get into music? Like, just in
yeah, and in high school, there was a lot of cats like that were rapping. Ciphers in the hallways at the football games, things like that. I was always into rap music, but I actually I rarely tell a story, but I told a story a couple of times where I tried to write a rap in like the 8th grade, and but it had gotten into the wrong hands like the same day I wrote it, you know what I'm saying? And started like rapping the shit out, and I got clowned. So I never really tried doing it again until I was like in the 11th grade. So kind of I feel like really like 3 years of my growth got stunted, unbeknownst to me. Yeah, I didn't even know, you know what I'm saying? I could have been 3 years doper at this point right now. You know what I'm saying? Had that not happened. But Yeah, my homies, they rapped, and I really enjoyed like the competitive aspect of it early on with the ciphers and the battles and stuff like that. Um, and and just playing with words. I was always in the vocabulary, so that's kind of what drew me into it.
Right, right. Word, word. That's just, hey, everything happens for a reason, man. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
hey,
I'm glad I found my way back. I didn't really have any, like, no one pushed me to do it. Like, it wasn't like I didn't have no best friends at the time that rap. It was just something in the environment.
yeah, yeah. I feel that.
Okay, I say, was there anybody locally that you looked up to, kind of growing up, or early on as you started doing music?
Early on, yeah, the Super Friends, Mad Skills, Lonnie B, Danger Mouth, Lonnie B. A lot of people, they know Lonnie B for DJing. Lonnie B was like my favorite Richmond rapper, like back in the day. Like, to me, Lonnie was the nicest. Obviously Skills super dope too, and was the most widely known. But I kind of like Lonnie's style a little better at that time.
I should say, as you hear these new artists in Richmond, what is one thing you're most proud of when you hear them?
Oh, and I'm sorry, and Joe Doja, rest in peace, Joe Doja.
Okay, say rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
But now, do you like this new style of Richmond rap as you are, as you've been growing for these last couple years, and you're hearing new different styles, you're hearing new different people
Yeah.
from different areas.
It's all kinds of styles though. So I don't really, especially when you talk about Richmond, it's so many textures and layers, from, lyrical rap to trap to party, music to, the mixed genre, R&B, rap, all kind of different things that are going on at the same time. And it's a lot of different successful artists in each of those realms, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a proponent of all rise of Richmond rap, as long as it's not, something that's detrimental to the culture. So yeah, I'm a fan of it all, to be honest.
Word.
I say with RVA Rap Elite, what made you want to start that? I
Um,
guess.
what it was I was looking at rap music. I was looking not even rap music. I was looking at how rappers got started in this era as opposed to how we got started, and it troubled me that there wasn't really a place, like, artists would just create a SoundCloud, record in a room, get an IG, and buy a beat off of YouTube or strip a beat off of YouTube and record, and then they are artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, they never went outside and rapped in front of nobody that validated that they could even rap. Like, there was never like anyone that said, "Hey, you dope." You know what I'm saying? Like, they never had to do that. They never had to move a group of people with their raps before going to a studio and saying like, "Yo, I'm an artist." You know what I'm saying? And when we came up, it was like you had to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how, like I said, how I was inspired to rap. I was watching people rap. You know what I'm saying? And having to acknowledge their talents, and then having to be brave enough to write what I wrote and then step into their spaces and rap. Like, that took something, that required something of me. You know what I'm saying? It's a rite of passage. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So what happens, what people don't realize, is when you skip those stages, and all of our, like, the legendary rappers, the Jay-Z's, the DMX, the Nas, the whoever, like, they all came up like that. They all battled each other and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you skip over those processes, what happens is you're stripping down that artist from certain things that they need to become like superstars and to become like legendary artists that last for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Because you learn to perform, you learn how to entertain different types of crowds, you understand how to shake the nerves off and like build your confidence. You learn vocal projection, and obviously like all of the other like lyrical things and the metaphors and all of that stuff. Like it's a lot that you learn by going out in public and rapping. You know what I'm saying? And you know, one thing that I found with starting the platform is that people were getting on stage and rapping. They had music videos out. They had, you know, followers and IG and all of this. But this was their first time being on stage holding a microphone. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, see, this is exactly why I did this. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted people to have a place where like they had to focus on one verse. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm gonna sign up for the cipher, and it's not it's a month from now, and from now to then, I have to focus on this one verse and how this one verse is gonna move this room. You know what I'm saying? Like that takes it back to the basics. But I knew I couldn't just be like, yo, we're gonna have an open mic, and this is because that's dated. You know what I'm saying? People past that. Like the young guys not gonna be like, I'm not going to no open mic. I'm not into that. You know what I'm saying? But what I knew they would do is if we film it and we provide you the footage so that you can have it for your social media, it's more likely to draw you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's you recognize that. You know what I'm saying? Like it gives you an opportunity to have some content. Everybody want content. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of the hook to make it relevant to this, you know, this era or whatever. And it's worked, and that's the biggest blessing about it. You know what I mean?
I got a two-part question for you. Well, one, I was listening to Randy Wilson's podcast, and he was on with Here RVA at the end of 2020, and he was talking about, you know, some people who had a big 2020 and some rappers, you know, going into 2021. So what I want to ask you is, who do you think had the biggest 2020, and who do you see coming in 2021? You know, just killing it
In the music industry.
Yeah, like in as far as Richmond is.
Oh, in Richmond. You mean in Richmond?
Yeah.
Who had a big 2020?
I know they were talking about OZ, Sneeze, and Young Flexico.
Yeah, man. It's so hard to answer that question, man. It's like. It's so difficult because, you know, what happens is it's so many people, like I said earlier, there's so many people doing so many dope things on different spectrums of the Richmond hip hop scene that if I start listing names, honestly, I'm gonna feel crazy because somebody's gonna be like, oh, he didn't think I had a dope year. You know what I'm saying? What I would, so like, you know, I'm a little, you know,
hitting us with the blitz, right? Yeah,
I'm smart. I'm smart.
hey, facts.
So what I will say, you know, is I think Richmond artists as a whole did an incredible job of navigating all of the obstacles that were presented like last year that prevented artists from being able to do what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna pick one artist so that this way, like, and I'm not saying this one artist did anything more than everybody else, but this is one particular artist that I was very proud of last year. And because I know where their complete origins come from, and that's Smith Knight.
Hey, that's
so I definitely want to shout out Smith Knight. And people, you know, I've talked about his story in the past and how we, you know, became acquainted. He reached out to me when he was like 16, going on 17, and he couldn't get into Strange Matter because it was an 18 and up venue. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, yo, I love what you're doing with Rap Elite. I want to perform there so bad, but I can't get in there. So if you ever do anything, you know, outside of that building, let me know. You know what I'm saying? So I was putting together a cipher for Virginia Union, and I brought big dogs out with me. I think Michael Millions was there, Fly Anakin, Kane, Cole Hicks, Easy Leo, heavy hitters, you know, dope dudes. But I called him, you know, I hit him up and I was like, yo, if you can come out here on this day, I'll let you, you know, you can rap in the cipher with us. You know what I'm saying? and he came through. He did his thing, like he was dope, you know. And so I would call him for things like the ICA and stuff we did off location, and he always showed up and showed out. And then he won the Flag on the Moon contest and performed there. And there was a crazy story behind that too, but I'm not going to run the time up with that. But he's shown over and over again his initiative and his ability to respect what, you know, the process of what was and who is before him, and study the game, and also being very aware that he is young and of this generation, and utilizes all of the youth and his homies. You know, he's got a crew, you know what I'm saying? They shoot their own videos, they do their own content. It's fresh, it's high quality, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't cut any corners. And his album was really dope. His lead up was dope, and his visuals have been dope. So, and then he did Brewer Session too. So yeah, big shout out to Smith Knight. And there's so many more great stories from last year. And all the names that you named, OZ, Sneeze, and so on, also killed it as well. I have stories for each of them. But yeah, like Rise of Richmond rap is a real thing.
All right. So I got an age question, but this one I'm gonna reverse it a little bit. I do a little thing. Wait, you hear that? The little.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, then, yeah, I'll be there. You know, we gonna run it then. Yeah.
So, okay. So I always ask a little age question. Usually I add a bunch of years on somebody. Like, maybe you looking at somebody who's 20-something. I might, like, run them to, like, 80. But this time I'm going to take you back. Okay. I'm going to take you back. Not too far. Let's go to 6th grade, middle school. Okay, so middle school, what would you tell yourself now? What would you tell yourself, you now tell yourself back in middle school then? 6th grade, beginning of middle school.
6th grade.
Yep.
6th grade blitz.
Yep.
Right. A mini sack. Right.
Yeah.
You are really that dude. Like, you really are that dude. Like, don't question yourself. Walk with your shoulders a little bit higher and say what you mean. And not that I didn't, I did, but I don't think that I knew. I think that I was still trying to, figure out my space. Obviously, we all are, you know what I'm saying? But I think that the people that, and love yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that the people that truly understand self-love and like self-confidence and self-esteem very early go so much further, so much faster. I think what takes a lot of us time to get into our space is just realizing how powerful we actually are. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of us are late bloomers, you know what I'm saying? And if we were just nudged in a couple different directions and to pay attention to certain things we weren't paying attention to about ourselves and our surroundings, then we would have flourished a lot faster. Not to say we needed to, you know what I'm saying? But for me, I think that would have probably be like, you good. Like, you don't have to look up to this person.
You've been amping up yourself in 6th grade. You've been hyped.
Not necessarily like, hype, but I just would have been like a little more sure of myself with, like, you could sit back and just be like,
what was you worried about?
Why am I stunting? Don't stunt these people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they all broke. We in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Feel me? Like,
let me get your chips. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. Like, just carry it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you good. Like, you know what I mean? You don't gotta shit on nobody, obviously, because I'm all for that. Like, self-confidence don't mean you gotta put nobody else down. You know what I'm saying? But just literally, know yourself. Like, be comfortable with yourself and walk into that room like, you comfy, and then like make sure you get your cut right and do things that you gonna
be fresh.
You know what I mean? Be fresh so that you can be confident with yourself, and everything else will fall into place. Oh,
right.
Pay attention in school.
Right, and take out the trash.
Do your homework. That was my problem. I didn't do my homework ever in school. Ever in school. Never. Not from the 2nd grade to the 12th grade. I didn't do homework, bro. I don't know how I made it, but I didn't do homework, bro. Like, I avoided it like the plague.
Yeah. You told your teachers, don't even worry about passing it to me. I'm good. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Man, bro, I was terrible with that. I never skipped school and no shit like that, but that's...
So you know how they have the awards? And, like, you know how, like, perfect attendance?
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Not honor roll, though, but I get perfect attendance. Yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Attendance. Yeah.
So you two niggas was there. Basically,
Yeah.
Y'all got y'all one for being there. Right.
I was there. Physically, I was there. But,
we were there, but we weren't there.
I wasn't there, dog. I was not there, bro. Like, I was already home. And that's probably why I was cool being there.
Was in the cipher, right?
I was there. I was like...
Yeah. Speaking about being somewhere else, actually, I see your sweater you got on, or at least your shirt you got on.
Yeah.
I guess your collection, was it MomaJos, actually?
Yeah.
I know one of your things is called, like, art you can wear. So
Yes.
real quick, like, describe that, I guess, for the viewers.
So basically, my mom, she started doing abstract art, well over a decade ago as a hobby, something to try to just get her mind off of, like, cause she's a lupus survivor and everything. So she's disabled. So she deals with, like, depression and a lot of these things. So, art was like kind of a way for her to just, take her mind off of all of that stuff, and, I always thought her art was incredible. So I would always find different ways to kind of display her art, whether it was like, Tumblr or like, little websites and stuff like that. Or she's had an IG forever. I used to take her to Tuesday Versus, and we would bring like a big thing of her art and sell like small pieces of her art, and then I even did a show at Gallery 5 where we had like a full bill going on in the performance room, and then in the front room, we had did a whole art gallery of her art and sold art. And that was some years ago. But so I've always tried to figure out ways to make, show her that her art is as special as I think it is, you know what I'm saying? Because that's another thing. She really fights with her confidence. And especially nowadays, especially before I decided to do the clothing. And that's one of the reasons that I did the clothing, because I really wanted her to see people would love your art if it was presented to them in the right way. You know what I'm saying? So the distributor that I was already doing my merch through, I just started working, with some of the things that they had, some of the tools that they had to design. And I just started taking images of her art and just started designing different types of clothing. I started with a pair of socks, and then I went into things like dresses and bathing suits and crew necks and hoodies, and and now it's like a full-on line. And we launched that around the same time we released the album.
So I have a question about that. So if it's like a line, I've always kind of wondered this, and you're working with your mom, right? Like taking someone using. Hold on, real quick.
Oh yeah.
You're using her art and stuff to put on the apparel and things.
Yeah. So I take images of her art, and
okay.
Yeah, right. So I photograph her art, and then I use it. I manipulate the photographs to create the designs for the clothing.
Okay. Because I was wondering, if a person who sells apparel and an artist are collaborating, do each of them kind of get a cut?
Yeah. If my mom, I'm her full-time caretaker. She lives with me. So we're definitely a partnership. You know what I'm saying? So it's but I imagine if this was like a collaboration, yeah, I would imagine that it would, whatever the expenses or cost to make it is where the money goes to first, and then whatever profits, then they I guess maybe either 50-50 or whoever's doing the most work, right? I don't I don't know.
Right.
You owe me. It's like, all
Right. It's like, dude, like, because I mean, I would think that would be a little difficult to determine too, because, sometimes you have an artist that's doing the art that takes a lot of work, and that takes materials too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't do it.
Money, you know what I mean? So, but then you might have somebody on the other end that knows how to do the design and then does the marketing and advertising and all of that, and that's a whole nother type of work. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. I've always wondered that, like when I look in the stores and I might see something like let's just say like Star Wars or like something.
Good.
Yeah, like something like Star Wars or something or like any brand or something like that's another brand other than who's selling
right.
it. Like,
well, then it's a licensing thing. So like, if you're creating the clothes, you're gonna, unless you want to get sued, you're gonna want to get licensing from whoever it is, or whatever brand that is.
right.
So like, funny thing to say with I have also like the Kill the Dreamer clothes, which at times like I'll use. I'm funny about it because like I had these like I have the James Brown Godfather crew neck, and I used a tour poster that I bought out of a thrift shop in California to create the design for that particular shirt. Now with that, you never know, because it's like, it's James Brown. He was on the tour poster, so it's his likeness. Is it his licensing, or is it the licensing of the person that took the picture, or the person that created the poster? Like, it could be all the above, or one in particular individual. With that, I think that we're in an era where so many people are utilizing these types of images for merch. I don't think it's difficult for people to track that back down. But me, I'm like not gonna just go find images online, and you know what I'm saying, and then I'm not gonna do that. If I don't have it physically here with me, typically I won't really use it, or unless I get approval, So right now the funny thing about that, right? If I don't know if you followed, so with the James Brown shirt, James Brown's daughter came across the shirt on Instagram, and she went, and then she followed me, right? So when she followed me, I was kind of nervous at first. I was like, I mean, she might run the state and be like, cease and desist. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, my whole attitude was like, if she says that, then she we just shut it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't sold but probably 4 of them anyway. So like, it didn't really make, it wasn't like it was gonna break my pockets or nothing. So I'm like nervous, kind of like, at the very worst, I just don't want her to be offended. Like, like, yo, who said you could sell these shirts? You know what I'm saying? Like, but when she DM'd me, she screenshotted that she bought the shirt, and that she loved it, and she wanted to show support. And then we've been in rapport since then, and she took pictures in it, and that led to like me being connected with another soul singer named Johnny Taylor, his daughter, and she asked me to make a shirt for her father. So it's been a blessing in that respect. You know what I mean? So that kind of is like relevant, I guess, to your original question about about licensing part of it. Yeah.
And I got one last question. Speaking of art, you got your own mural. And
Yes.
I just wanted to know how you felt about it, because I saw your Instagram post, and it was like kind of emotional, like humble, Instagram post. It was like,
yeah.
wow.
I mean, honestly, there's no other way to take that but to be humbled by it, right? I don't know how you receive an honor like that and take it to the ego. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you do that. there are people that would, right? And that's one of the reasons why they probably would not be honored in that manner. I feel like there is a certain energy that you give off in addition to whatever accomplishments or inspirations that led to it. There's also a certain type of spirit that you have to have for somebody to feel comfortable standing out in the sun for days painting your face. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just, to me, it's just an honor of like to know that I inspired an artist. It's art for art, right? I wrote When 16 Ain't Enough. That particular poem, which turned into a song, inspired the concept of that mural. And Nils Westergaard and Silly Genius came together, had the opportunity, and was able to get the funding to do it from the Mending Walls project. And that was just, it's just an amazing thing, you know, and also for it to be not about me, you know what I'm saying? Like that mural is really, it's not about me. I can inspired it, but it's really about those names on the wall, you know what I mean? And to be a part of a visual that represents the struggle and represents the injustices and the movement in the way that it does is way bigger than it being my face on the wall. You know what I mean? So.
I guess the last question is to wrap everything up before we get these topics. Like Nick said, you know, you got a day on mural. You do clothing, obviously RVA Rap Elite. I'll just say real quick, what's the hardest part about everything?
The hardest part is keeping up with everything and giving each thing the necessary energy and attention that it requires to be successful, and still maintaining my responsibilities as a, you know, as a fiance, as a son, as a caretaker, as a stepfather, and, you know, as a friend to my, you know, to my homies, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and the rest of my extended family, you know what I'm saying? So like just maintaining my relationships and being present in that space in addition to maintaining what is needed to do the other things. That's the balance is what's the most difficult part.
That's exactly why I hit you up in December, like, you know.
Yeah, nah, and see, that's what I'm saying. So the original date that we had, it was like, then it's like, you said the date, but for some reason that date didn't click. Like, and then once we got up on it, I'm like, oh wait, hold on, that's my fiance's birthday. Like, no, that ain't gonna work. So, but yeah, you know, yeah, that's what it is. It's just a lot to keep up with, to be honest.
Now, we're going to get into these topics. Radio, are you a basketball fan, I should say?
Yes.
Right,
yes.
Who's your favorite team?
I'm not a fanatic though. The only sport that I'm a fanatic about is boxing. I'm a lifetime basketball fan and I love the game, but I don't sit and watch every game. Like, I'm not that fan. Like, I'll probably watch all the playoffs, but I ain't watching all the games.
I should say.
Favorite
I'm a
boxer.
Tyson fan.
I don't have a favorite boxer, but Floyd is, if I had to, I would say Floyd is up there. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he's super, super underrated as far as, like, you know, you can't really take him out of the top 3 to 5, if not the best ever. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he gets a lot of hate, but as far as what he does in that ring, you really can't.
Fighting again, or do you just think that's like his last fight with Conor McGregor was it for him?
I mean, I know he plans on doing some exhibitions this year. I don't really care to see those. You know what I'm saying? I don't really, as much as I feel like the game misses him, and, you know, I feel like he had become more important than being world champion. Like getting the fight with him was more important than being world champion, which is like has a positive and negative effect on the game. You know what I mean? But I hate to see boxers past their prime and take beatings, and I would hate to see that happen to him. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just got to get out when you're supposed to get out.
Great legacy for himself, obviously. You know, broken records.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
But I thought yesterday you said you was trying to fight him or something like that. I thought that you was trying to square up with him. But, oh, okay, all right. I guess. Okay, I guess I was thinking about stuff.
Hey, Radio B.
Okay, all right.
Hey, depends on. I'll take a whooping as long as if that check is looking right, low key. Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
you said it. Yeah, I mean,
300 million. Yeah, and he has to knock you out. Yeah,
I lost.
Yeah.
We haven't even started yet.
You know, you got the swollen eye. You look like Rocky Balboa. Yeah.
Hey, taking one for the team.
Yeah. Cha-ching, we on. Yeah. Put Richmond on the map.
That's a fact.
I guess the next topic.
That's a fact.
But have you have you been following the 6ix9ine situation? I guess a little bit, or like the recent stuff. I guess just real blatantly. I guess have you been seeing anything?
What with Meek Mill and
like you saw a thing with Meek Mill, and obviously this weekend he dropped the song. And you know, every time he drops a song on YouTube, it does like record numbers.
Of course.
You know, so the song, you know, basically it is more hi, you know, I'm still doing it. I think like he's in like Florida, so he's basically his point now is I'm still moving around. But obviously he's securityed up. Yeah. So every time he runs into somebody, he like has security. So I guess I'd just say real quick, Radio be like, what do you think of this way of like getting like fame? I guess what is he still here or not?
Technical difficulties. Okay, we are.
Oh, you still with us?
Yep.
A little bit, but...
Yeah, just a little bit of technical difficulty.
Is it? It says something about my connection being unstable just now, but I think we're good.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Just a little bit slow. But all right,
okay. Yeah. I'm totally against troll culture of all sorts. Like it's a huge pet peeve of mine, whether it's online or any other, facet of it. And he's definitely like a professional troll. He was before he became a professional rat, and so now he's a rat and a troll. Like it's literally like everything that I.
He's a trap.
Don't.
We don't know what to call it.
Definitely. You know what I mean? So I don't support nothing about him. I remember when I was first. I remember when I first seen him. I ain't even want to say who put me on to him because I don't even want to incriminate my, you know what I'm saying? I don't even, and I would consider that like, I would consider that incrimination.
Yeah, just give us a sec.
I don't support it.
Alex old janky ass computer.
Dell. Yeah, you're kind of breaking up a little bit. Or we can't hear you at all. It's frozen. Okay, you're back.
Oh no. Yeah.
Not quite. I guess this is what we would call a commercial break. Yeah.
Post production.
Oh.
All right. That's probably on his hand. It's on his hand.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's crazy. The whole screen that went.
Same here. It's all good. That was just
we all right, man. All right, we good.
That was a commercial break.
That's 6ix9ine trying to, troll and rap. He trying to hold us back. Yeah. What you mean, saying? What you saying? Right, yeah. So, right, nah, we ain't going out.
See that?
Right, we ain't going out.
That's crazy. As soon as you bring that man name,
Yeah,
oh,
even the
that shit
computer was
just
a
go
fan
out,
of it.
man. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
fans just come knocking. Yeah,
Yeah,
so, yeah,
yeah,
right.
feds.
Or you'll be like, I just rap, man. I just rap.
Yeah.
I just rap. Right. I just rap. That's all I do. Right.
All right, so another topic. What is your favorite hip hop movie?
Alex, you can go ahead. Just any movie that involved rap, but I was circle around. Radio AB, you can go next.
Dang, I'm trying to think. I guess I'm gonna just say like Straight Outta Compton. Yeah, I'm gonna just start. Yeah.
Why? I say and why?
Well, actually, I'll put it like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Right. Yeah. Oh, more content. Oh, good. Yeah. Right. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
You gotta answer
content
the
creator.
question.
Yeah.
Right. Great. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was about to be like, me, because Straight Outta. But then,
Great. Yes.
No, but
Thank you.
I've met O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah. So on the set of a project he's done. So yeah.
I say Hustle and Flow. Hustle and Flow. That's my. I'm a big 3-6 Mafia fan, and you know, Whoop That Trick is still my shit.
How can it not be? Right. Yeah. It's hard out here for a pimp. So go ahead, Radio B.
That's facts. No, I love both of those. I'm gonna say Juice. And you know, obviously, it wasn't like a rap film, but it was, you know, it was definitely hip hop oriented, inspired. You know, the DJ aspect of it was what I would say makes it fall into that category. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna say I would like to say, you know, movies like Lose Yourself or not Lose Yourself, 8 Mile, or you know, as an MC, right? I would definitely say 8 Mile. You know what I'm saying? Like when that came out, yeah, I was a huge Eminem fan too at that particular time. I'm still an Eminem fan, but I was really an Eminem fan of his music at that particular time, and just everything that was going on. So, and I just related to that movie a lot when it came to just like MCing and just going through the whole struggle of trying to, you know, get your rep up. You know what I mean?
Mine would have to be I didn't even think about it that much. Yeah, just Straight Outta Compton. It's just seeing kind of molding of all those characters. Like I said, I always every day always yell to myself like, how did Jerry Heller fuck up that shit? Like, how did they let him do that to them? Like, how did you mess up Dre and Q?
I mean, honestly,
like, I don't.
You know,
that's just too much talent. Like, that's just too much.
It's a majority of hip hop artists have had the same situation. It's just right. Yeah, like, you know, if that was the case, you know, a lot more artists would own their masters, or a lot more artists would have ownership and stake in these companies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same. We don't own the music industry. We are the originators of the culture, but we don't own the music industry. You know what I mean? White men own it.
That's pretty
music
wild.
industry.
And when you see people trying to like rise and get ownership, they try to make it harder. Like, you know, and that goes for anything, investment, stocks, because more information's out there.
Exactly. That's why it's so important with the things that Jay-Z has done, because he does them in the vein, in the purpose of not only setting an example, but setting new standards for what is capable for us as artists as a whole, but specifically Black artists and hip hop artists, as far as taking ownership of yourself and taking ownership of the company that you put your music out of. I mean, they started Rockefeller is one of the, you know, first, like, you know, independent labels, you know what I'm saying? Or labels that was started in conjunction with a larger label, but being in control, like that was, you know, just getting distribution through another label, but being in control, like that's important.
That's big. I want to say too, like something I just thought about. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Y'all heard about the last film that Chadwick was in, Chadwick Boseman and Viola Davis.
Great film.
That was
Great film.
It kind of made me like think about that a little bit, like owning your man, and like the way she was like dealing with those white men and things. Like it's crazy. She was a really like loud spirit. It seemed like, but she knew the game. Like she knew like, okay, like I know where the money is. Like you know what I mean. So y'all not gonna just trick me.
Right.
Yeah. And like, so I'm gonna do what I want to do. Like, and then even when she like, I like the part where she was like, and they talk about how much it's gonna cost them. Like when she wanted to get a Coke and she was like holding up the whole recording session. It was like, great, go. But it was like, no, she was like, they making so much money off of this record and they can't buy me a Coke. Like while I'm here singing for them. I was like, yo, that's great. Like, and that's years ago.
Yeah, and you think, right, and you think of like the time period, you know what I'm saying, and how like unheard of like that was, you know what I'm saying, and it just showed that even at that particular time there were people there were black people that had that kind of power and would wield it like that, you know what I'm saying, like that was you know what I mean, and that was inspiring, at the very least, you know what I'm saying. But there were a lot of things in that film that were parallels to what we live in today, especially when it comes to dealing with each other. I think that film was is definitely one of those, like, it's the sleeper film as far as like just the significance of it.
I know Alex had one more topic, but before we get into his, what hip hop album do you think doesn't get enough respect?
Man,
I
wow.
say Common's B, like his B album, that doesn't get the respect it deserves.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I think Fuji's The Score doesn't get the proper respect. I think a lot of people heap so much praise on Miseducation from Lauren, which is immaculate. It's a holy grail in and of itself.
The other day.
Right.
10 million
Right.
sold.
So
That puts her with like certain, I forgot the names, but those fucking diamonds.
which she belongs. She's a goddess. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that Fuji's The Score album is what set the stage for that album to even happen, and set the stage for Wyclef to become who Wyclef became. People forget how big Wyclef was, man. Wyclef was huge too. You know what I'm saying? Prize he was like the only one that didn't really go crazy, but I'm sure his numbers, like compared to the numbers today, was like he'd have been like the biggest artist out. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he probably went platinum or damn near close to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how people were selling records back then. If you were a star, you were selling like hundreds of thousands of records. Like they don't do that no more.
Respect to them though.
Super respect to the Fugees, man.
Go ahead, Al.
All right. Oh, well, first, I just wanted to say, praying for Tiger Woods. Y'all see this Friday.
Bro, I heard that. Yeah, that blew me today. That blew me today because he just got physically back in.
Out of a back
in
like damn.
Yeah, man. He was doing really well, man. Like on his comeback shit. So I really hope that he's able to bounce back, and I hope that there wasn't like any type of like substance involved or anything like that.
All right. So, I don't know all the details about it, but obviously about Trump, getting acquitted for, them trying to impeach him afterward and everything. But I did see something where I think the courts are looking into, or a district attorney is looking into getting his tax return, or he's gonna have to show it, I think. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I know that I know about how long they've been going back and forth, about the taxes and so forth. I haven't. I'm not up to snuff on like what's currently going on as far as that's concerned. But I don't really think it's going to lead to much. He's a very slippery person. You know what I'm saying? He's very slippery. Like, so it's like I don't have a whole lot of faith in at this
In
point
our
anymore.
justice
With
system.
right. You know, like
Yeah.
go for it, but keep it. I'm glad that I don't know because that means it's not plastered everywhere, and I'm tired of it. Like I'm tired of him. So
I do. He does need to go to jail. I will say that.
I was
Yeah,
with
he
that.
does
Don't
need
get
to go.
like, if you can pull it off,
Shoot, yeah,
make
go
it
for
happen. You know what I'm saying? Go for it, man. But we don't need to hear about it every day. Like I'm tired of being disappointed with y'all failing to execute. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. We get to this point of like, they about to get him, he got impeached. Nah. They impeached him again. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. It's like, all right, work behind the scenes. Maybe you get it done, you know what I'm saying, more efficiently or
What
something.
did you say, Nick? You say he's a rich white man in America.
A very rich white man. With the support of many other white men and women.
Some black people too. Yeah, some black
And,
men.
and a lot of black men that would not look like the black men you would think.
Yeah, appreciate it, son. It's like okay, yeah, appreciate it, boy. It's like chill out, yeah. It's like chill, bro. But yeah, he'll do it though. That's the thing. Like it's not like he cares about the people who support him.
I would say one more thing before we get into the shout outs. How did Flag of the Moon start?
Flag on the Moon. So basically, AGM, the Association of Great Minds, that's my crew, that's myself, Nicholas F., Michael Millions, Name Brand, and then like our homies behind the scenes, Monse, Dinaz, Chris Cho, so on and so forth, Frank. So like we all came up together rapping, especially me and Mike early on, and me and Nick, we had our own relationship, and then it kind of all came together, and then we decided we were gonna go. Everybody knew we were affiliated for so many years, and we always did music together, and we're always together, family. So we decided to develop like an umbrella of which to call our collective, not necessarily a rap label or a group, but just like an artistic collective, which became AGM. But we had a difficult time figuring out necessarily or agreeing upon like how we wanted to go about presenting this unified front to the public as far as events and different things. So we kind of were like stagnant on that. But I kind of forced the issue. So like what I did was I decided I was going to do this event for my birthday. The first Flag on the Moon. I'm like, yo, I just want to do this show for my birthday. You know what I'm saying? And if I do the show for my birthday, of course, y'all will come perform, right? Like, yeah. So like and then we developed the name Flag on the Moon. Then we started pulling out promo, and it just took a life of its own as we started promoting it. And the first one, it was on a Thursday night, bro. Like you would have never, like people that were there, when you say like that was a Thursday night, everybody's like, that's a lie. It was not a Thursday. There's no way that was a Thursday. It had to be a Saturday, bro. It had to be. Like we were out, like it was so euphoric, and like everybody was so dialed in. The performances, like the crowd, like everything about it was just like, and never been to anything like that, let alone have put it on or performed on it. Like I never felt nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And talking about mosh pits and everything. Like it was insane. And everybody was, even after the fact, everybody's hanging out outside the venue till like 2 and 3 in the morning. I didn't have to work the next day. It was my birthday, you know what I'm saying? But everybody else did, you know what I'm saying? But they was just out there, like, you know, it was like once it was over, it was like we had to all decompress, like, yo, what the hell? Like, so it's like from that point, it was like, yo, we definitely know we need to do this every year. And every year I ain't gonna say it has exactly the same feel, but it's always like the biggest thing of the year. It always has a certain specific type of feel. And everybody that's performed at a Flag on the Moon will tell you, like, nah, there's nothing like that, at least not in Richmond. You know what I'm saying? That's like performing at the Broadberry for Flag on the Moon. Like that's a different type of thing altogether. Everybody's invited to Flag on the Moon. But I mean, you know, we're praying that we'll be back in you know, we didn't have Flag for 2020. So we're praying that, you know, live shows are back so that we can get back to doing it like we do it. If not, then I think we'll definitely try to do something virtual this year. We didn't want to do that last year, and I think it'll take some convincing still with my guys this year if that was to be what we were left with. But I think it's something that we should shoot for, like something like, you know, something dope. We'll see.
Okay, word. Facts. Now y'all got y'all shout outs?
Yeah, I have a one. I don't have a one this week. So Al, go ahead. Put your shout out.
Yeah, shout out to my mom. Thank you for giving us the book full of quotes.
Shout out to moms.
Shout out to my dad, Fiscal Fitness. I know y'all need y'all's taxes done, so come on down to Fiscal Fitness, Tax and Financial Services. We will do your taxes. Things are a little crazy this year, so yeah.
Are you gonna be doing taxes? You know.
Yeah, that's what I
You're gonna
do.
be actually.
Oh Lord,
Hey,
government, hey, IRS.
Hey, we're gonna send.
It wasn't me. IRS, it wasn't me.
We're gonna send Donald Trump your way.
I handle it. Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah. Pay me $2 million, and I won't tell. It's like,
You got anybody Radio B?
Oh man, you know, shout out, you know, my fiance in the other room. Shout out to AGM, the crew, the clique. Shout out to our Rap Elite staff, the MCs. Shout out to Southpaw Battle Coalition, that staff, crew, and roster. And you know, shout out to Richmond as a whole. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate you having me on. And you know, just you know, the rise of Richmond rapping, and we're going to, like, you know, continue to make this thing shake.
Shout out to
you know,
my bro
Carl.
Carlton too.
Yeah, I always do this. Sorry. Yeah.
And you know, shout out to my bro Rob. We got something big on the way. And you know, shout out to you, Radio B, for coming.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. It's been a dope talk.
You got anyone?
Yeah, let me see if I got any announcements this week. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, shout out to the bomb. Y'all see it when y'all see it. Shout out to my boy Shaman. Shout out to my sister Ariel.
You finished?
No. Shout out to, no, I'm playing. No, I'm done.
Anybody else, Al? Yeah.
Oh no! Hey, I just peeped. Good, dope team. Like that. I like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually.
Yeah, that's.
The boy is home. Bobby Spurter is home. That's why I'm rocking New York. That's why I'm New Yorked up. Hold on, I gotta do the right. Right. Alex gotta make sure it's edited so that way the hat is no longer seen. Alex got that in post production.
Yeah,
so
I got you in post.
Bobby Spurter, Rowdy Rebel, yeah, everybody at home. Yeah, no doubt. That's why I'm New Yorked up. This is also this is our last episode of Black History Month. So I've been trying to challenge myself for every week with wearing a black-owned business. This is my last week. I'm rocking Born Ready. Shout out to our guy, Born Ready, already know. Anybody else? Shout out to Stay Solid Rocky, his single Party Girl with Platinum.
Oh,
so
word.
We got a platinum plaque
That's a fact.
we good. Shout out to Black Girl, aka Trinity, with her new music, The Rundown. Shout out to our last guest, OG Will, and his new single One Chance.
Hey yo, I like that shit.
Yeah, that shit was alright. The beat was crazy, so yeah, that shit was actually alright. And just like and subscribe on YouTube. That's pretty much all I got. So I guess Nick, take us out.
All right, so again, thank you Radio B for
man, a second Zoom episode too, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
thank you for coming through.
Okay.
Yeah, man, the Zoom is where it's at, man. Like
it is. Yeah, you showing us a thing or two. So right.
Yeah, bro, man, y'all like. I mean, I'm about to start a podcast too for Kill the Dreamer. And I know initially it's going to be y'all Zoom. But I mean, like, it just, you can do that. You can stream straight to your YouTube and all of that. Like, so it's definitely.
You got us, exercising.
Yeah,
you got us moving and grooving.
Yeah,
so I like that. I like
for real.
that.
Like you can, it gives you a lot of. I think they came up the most in the pandemic. If anybody came up, they came up the most. Sure.
Get that Zoom back.
Yeah. Let me get that Zoom stock. Yeah. Yeah.
Zoom coin.
Yeah.
Okay, turn your head all you want.
No, facts.
Bro,
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Go ahead, take us out, Nate.
All right, so like I said.
One last thing. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're not here. So, like I said, we still used to having people here. So, it's one thing we would have you do at the end of the show, and it's usually be after you say it. But we do have the dirty hat.
The ugly.
The ugly dirty hat. Basically, we would have every guest sign it on the podcast.
Oh man.
Signature and shit.
We'll get you to sign it.
Yeah, one of these days we went into your RVA rapper lead.
Yeah, for sure.
We gonna have to snatch you up and give you a Sharpie or something. Be like, hey,
I'm on it.
Yeah, they like, hey, what's going on? What's going on over there? Don't worry about it. He signed the hat. Yeah, mind your business. Right.
No, I'm with it.
I'm sorry,
That's
Nick. I'm sorry. Go ahead and take us out. Yeah.
So, hey, again, thank you, Radio B, for coming through.
Yes, sir.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ending off the month,
62.
with legendary artists. So, again, I'm Nick.
Jesse.
Alex.
And this is the 804 Podcast.
All right,
Yeah.
Bless, man. Appreciate y'all.